Have you ever really stopped and thought about how we make sense of, well, everything? From a traffic light to a meme to a work of art, our world is just absolutely saturated with signs. Today, we're going to peel back the curtain on semiotics, the study of those signs, and see how it gives us this incredible new way to read the world around us. So, to get a handle on what semiotics is really about, we're not going to start with some dry academic theory. No. Instead, let's jump right into a real-world puzzle. Picture this. A doctor is examining a patient. Okay, so what does the doctor see? It's a simple, observable fact. The patient has red spots on their face. This is the raw data, the physical evidence right in front of them. It's the very first clue. Now, here is the absolute key insight. Those spots, they aren't the measles. They're not the actual disease. They're just what's showing up on the surface, a hint of something deeper going on inside the body. Exactly. The symptom is a sign. It's a physical thing that points to something else, something you can't see. The spots literally stand in for the illness, guiding the doctor's mind from the visible to the invisible. So how in the world does that actually happen? I mean, the doctor isn't just seeing spots. They're reading them. They're making an educated guess, an inference, based on years of training. And this whole process, this act of reading signs, it actually has a name. And that process, well, that's the beating heart of semiotics. You can think of it as the hidden grammar of our reality, the invisible rules we use to connect the things we see and hear to the meanings they hold. So let's get a little more formal for a second. The way Ferdinand de Saussure first put it, semiotics is simply the study of the life of signs within society. And notice, it's not just about words or language, it's about any system that creates meaning. And believe me, this isn't some small niche little subject. The brilliant American thinker C.S. Peirce said it best with this incredible, almost dizzying idea. What he's saying is that anything we can possibly think about, we think about as a sign. It's the only way our brains can grab hold of the universe and make any sense of it at all. And once you start looking for them, you see them absolutely everywhere. They're in life or death situations, like medical symptoms or military signals. And they're in the most mundane, everyday stuff, like traffic lights, the words we use, or even just the unspoken rules of being polite. Okay, so if pretty much everything can be a sign, how on earth do we start to sort them all out? Well, lucky for us, the theorist C.S. Peirce gave us this fantastic toolkit. He broke signs down into 3 basic types, based on how they connect to their object. First up is the icon. This one's the most straightforward. An icon works because it physically looks like the thing it represents. Think of a photograph, a portrait, or that little stick figure on a bathroom door. You know what it means because it's a direct picture of it. Simple as that. Next, we have the index. Now, an index doesn't look like its object. Instead, it has a direct physical connection to it. It points to it. So, smoke is an index of fire. A footprint in the sand is an index that someone walked there. A fever is an index of sickness. See the pattern? One thing is a direct result of the other. And finally, we get to the symbol. And this is where it gets really powerful. The connection between a symbol and its meaning is totally arbitrary. It only works because a group of us, a culture, have all agreed on a rule. The letters TREE have nothing to do with a big plant with bark and leaves. There's no natural connection. It's a code we've all learned. All right, so let's just lock this in really quick. Icon resembles. Index points or connects. Symbol is based on a learned rule. Getting these 3 down is like learning the basic grammar for reading the world around you. Now, this is the part where semiotics can feel a little like falling down a rabbit hole. Because it turns out, when you interpret a sign, the process doesn't just stop. It actually kicks off a chain of thought that could, in theory, go on forever. To wrap our heads around this, we need one last bit of jargon from Peirce, the interpretant. Now listen close, because this is important. The interpretant is not the person doing the interpreting. It's the idea or the thought that pops into your head when you encounter a sign. Let's walk through it. Imagine you see Churchill's famous V for victory sign. That's the sign. It creates an interpretant in your mind, a thought like, we're going to win. But wait a second. That thought, we're going to win, is itself a sign, right? It's made up of words, which are also signs. And that sign might create a new interpretant, like a feeling of pride, which might cause you to smile. And that smile is yet another sign for someone else to see and interpret. The chain just keeps going. People call this idea unlimited semiosis, and this quote just nails the feeling perfectly. It's like looking up a word in the dictionary, and the definition is just made of more words you have to look up, which are defined by more words. You're always inside this massive, interconnected web of meaning. There's no final stop. So, okay, that's a pretty wild concept, but so what? What's the real point of all this? Well, this is where semiotics transforms from a cool theory into a seriously powerful tool for understanding our own culture. Right, so thinkers like Roland Barthes took this idea and ran with it. They realized you can use semiotics to analyze not just words or pictures, but all of culture. Everything from what we eat to how we shop to the movies we watch, it's all part of a giant system of signs. Let's just take clothing. On a purely functional level, yeah, of course, clothes keep us from getting cold or wet. But we all know it's so much more than that, right? Our clothes are absolutely loaded with significance. There's signs that shout things about our social status, our identity, who we vote for, what music we like, all of it. And that, right there, is the real magic of semiotics. It lets us demystify the world. It pulls back the curtain and shows how things we think are just natural or common sense are actually carefully constructed signs. And they're often packed with hidden messages about power, status, and ideology. It makes you a much sharper, more critical reader of your own society. So I'll leave you with a challenge. Now that you have this basic toolkit, just look around you today. Look at the ads on your phone, the architecture of your city, the way people talk to each other in a cafe. What signs have you been ignoring this whole time, and what are they really trying to tell you?